in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
I ain't tryna mess with your self-expression, but I've been a lesson that's stressing and obsessing about somebody else is no fun.
Will reveal its schedule, and that is a big deal for many people, and the odds will come out on week one. We already know that it's going to open up with the Cowboys and Bucks. I'll get through some of it, but that's a big deal for many. Big deal for you?
It's a big deal because you can finally start to put together those over-unders. The totals are out, and now you get a chance to look at them, when those games will fall, the bye weeks, and for the first time ever, we'll be looking at a 17-game NFL schedule.
Yep, 17 games, so get it ready to go, and I can start planning out that big Buccaneers and Rams trip to SoFi this year. Go to see the new stadium and see Tommy and the Champs against the Rams. The Monday night game, I guess, is going to be the Ravens and is it the Ravens and Raiders? But here's what we know in week one. If this matters to you, and I don't know, maybe you're already planning your fantasy football lineups. I get it. I do. Everything NFL is a big deal. I'm well aware. And so it'll start out. You'll get your first game. The defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers will host the Dallas Cowboys. Why Dallas? Dallas didn't even make the playoffs. Isn't it typically like a rematch of the NFC Championship game or I don't know, somebody good? Somebody who made the playoffs, somebody who wasn't 7-9 the year before, isn't it usually a team? I get it. Dallas Cowboys carry juice, man. If that doesn't tell you right there everything you need to know about what that franchise is, the worth of it, whether you like that. And I'm not a Cowboy fan, and I know you're not a Cowboy fan, but if you ever doubted the worth of the Cowboys to this league, I think that tells you right everything you need to know that they're going to put a team that was 7-9. And I don't know that they made significant changes on that first Thursday night game of the year against the defending champs. It's a pretty big deal, I think.
It is a very big deal. And I am excited to see Dak Prescott back. Coming back from that ankle injury, what he can do with that offense against what is going to still be a very good defense in the NFC. The favorites to repeat as not just NFC champs, but potentially Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, kicking off the season September 9th.
Well, Mark, the first time the Buccaneers are playing the kickoff game since they introduced this kickoff game is in 2002. Of course, Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in, what was it, Super Bowl 38. But then they opened the following season, 2003, on the road on Monday Night Football. So that's what you get. Your other first round, week one games that have been released. Sunday, September 12th. So, JJ, exactly 4 months from today. That sounds quick, doesn't it? I put it in perspective as a Bull director, how quickly football season is coming. 4 months from today is the NFL season. That doesn't sound like a long way away, does it?
It really doesn't.
4 months from today, Browns at Chiefs. That's a great week one game. Might even be the best game on the schedule. Browns at Chiefs. Isn't that something you want to see? Baker Mayfield, the upstart Browns, everybody's loving them against the Chiefs, who people still think is the best team in the world. Steelers at Bills. Packers, who's their quarterback? Saints, who's their quarterback? Dolphins at Patriots. Eagles at Falcons. All right, who cares? 49ers and Lions. Cardinals and Titans. Jets and Panthers. Broncos will open up in the Meadowlands against the Giants. Seahawks and Colts. Vikings, Bengals, Jaguars, Texans. Chargers will open up at Washington, which means the Rams will probably open up at home if the Chargers are on the road. And the Rams may get Monday night or...
the Rams have Sunday Night Football.
Is it Sunday Night
with
Football?
Chicago in town.
All right, there you go. Who's Chicago's quarterback? Andy Dalton on opening day? It's got to be, right?
He's QB1.
Andy Dalton
Their Twitter
versus
says.
Matthew Stafford. So there you go. This is I get it, man. A big day for many, many people as you start put your overs and unders together. All right, we're here for you today, and we're going to go through the NBA stuff. We've got Sebastian Noel scheduled to join us coming up at 9 o'clock from ProView Networks. Aaron's good buddy. They work together tightly. We'll recap a incredible state tournament, high school basketball that ended last Saturday, most notably with Natalia Chavez's launch from half court, which has gone international, I believe, and an insane win for them. But we'll get into Cleveland's boys' victory, Del Norte's victory, first for those two schools, and a proud alum, I know. We'll talk about that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That's at 9 o'clock this morning. JJ, last night, Lakers in a game as they're trying to get out of that play-in tournament. They won the game. So really that's, I guess, the ultimate what matters, but I don't know that it is. They go overtime, have to beat the Houston Rockets, and Anthony Davis says he's hurting. That was his words after the game. Honestly, that's a big deal. First of all, they have to go overtime to beat the Rockets by 2. The Rockets are bad. LeBron, whether he's healthy or not for the playoffs.
Well, they played the New York Knicks.
Oh, that's right.
And so that was a very good victory for the Lakers.
That's on my bad. Yeah, they get the Rockets next. Where's your confidence that these two guys can make it through the playoffs?
It's a little bit lower with Anthony Davis, but I've been impressed with the rest of the Lakers this week. The Knicks are a good basketball team, and this is a situation for me that this week, whether they fall into the play-in game or not, and by the way, this is a whole lot different than last year. It's not a 3-game series. They're all 1-game moments. So either win or you go home in the play-in games. So that kind of changes things because I think a lot of people are still caught up on last year like I was. The best 2 of 3 to get in. That's not the case this year. But the Lakers overall, what we're seeing out of everyone else, I think that is a very good sign for them going into the postseason, whether or not they have to play that 1 game. Because if they're in the initial 7-8 game, you win 1 and then you're into the bracket. You don't have to win anymore.
All right. So, and then the 8 goes down, has another shot to play the winner of the 9-10 game. All right. I don't know that I can sit here with confidence and tell you I think that both these guys are going to make it through. And I think the Lakers are concerned about it. Now, LeBron taking his time, I almost have more confidence, and I don't know why. Just because it's him, but taking his time to get back and just getting it right. But AD comes back and looks really, really good one night, and then next night he's hurting, and they just can't get through it. I don't think without both of them. I don't. But they beat the Knicks last night. The number was 101-109 in overtime, and it was obviously a big victory for them as they're trying to stay out of that play-in tournament. Other games last night in the NBA: Denver with a win over Charlotte. Miami got by Boston. Boston's hurting a little bit. Indiana at home, big win over Philadelphia. Brooklyn beats the Bulls 115-107. Golden State, Phoenix has lost a couple in a row. 122-116 at home over Phoenix. And as Golden State looks to hold on to the 9th position in the play-in tournament. Devin Booker had, 34 for the Suns last night. Steph Curry did not lead the Warriors in scoring. Somebody scored 38, but it wasn't Steph Curry. Wiggins went for 38 last night. Steph 7 of 22 shooting from the field, but a victory. Look, if they can get a couple other guys clicking on that team, then I think they can do some damage.
Problem is, it's 1 out of every 10 games for Andrew Wiggins.
That's right.
And it's still the Steph Curry show. I think it's going to be the Lakers and Golden State in the playoffs. Right now, that's a 7-8 matchup. Winner of that game goes straight to the 7th seed. Loser plays whoever wins between 10-9, which is San Antonio, Memphis, and I still believe Golden State.
I think that's
going to get that done. So ultimately, I do think teams that finish 7 and 8 Be 7-8 teams in the playoffs.
I think that's right. All right, we're going to go to the phones when we come back. 505-246-0610. That's how you get to us. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs, the NFL schedule. We got to get into the horse racing stuff, the Preaknesses this weekend. Shohei Ohtani did something last night that hasn't been done. He's pretty amazing. Kobe and Michael Jordan's last text. What was that all about? That was revealed yesterday. Got a lot to do. Want to hear from you. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Bobcat's producing on the radio side. Aaron on the visual side down at ProView Networks. You can watch the show on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. And, of course, on Facebook's social medium and their YouTube channel. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda. JJ Buck. Good morning. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Isotopes got beat last night again. They lose 5 out of 6 in their opening series to the Sugarland Skeeters. Out of town now. They'll convert that over to a soccer pitch down to El Paso. Topes are 1-5. Off today. Back at it tomorrow here on your radio on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal from beautiful West Texas. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. NFL schedule comes out today. NBA playoffs will start next week. We got a lot to do. Let's go to you. 505-246-0610. Good morning, Lenny.
Morning. How you guys doing?
Good. Lenny, how are you?
That Nick game last night was a nail-biter. But after a 3-point loss last night, they're 3-9 this season in games decided by 3 points or less.
Okay.
So that's one of their major knocks, closing close games out. So I'm happy with the season. They just can't get over that mental hump of closing those games out. They had that game won last night.
It was a physical hump, actually.
That was a 1980s throwback basketball game last night.
101-99 in overtime. They played defense last night?
Defense and physical.
How about that? Getting close to the playoffs, aren't we?
But the team that I'm scared about if you have to face them in the playoffs again is Miami.
I think that's fair, actually. Miami, when they beat the Celtics last night in Miami, I mean, JJ, the way they played the back end and through the playoffs last year and getting to the finals, like I'll take a team who knows how to win.
Well, what are they, 12 games over 500 with Jimmy Butler in the lineup?
Okay.
And he just gets everyone else's level of play up. I mean, they're one of the few teams in the league that has 2 undrafted players in their rotation.
Right.
That play well. Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson.
So they're gonna play. Well, it depends. It's them and the Knicks fighting out for 5 and 6, right? So
well, the Knicks can conceivably close out the season 3-0 at home because they got San Antonio, Charlotte, and Boston.
Yeah, they still got. I mean, conceivably is great. They got to go do it.
No, they have to go do it and hopefully get back into 4. But then if they end up in 4 or 5 and have to play Atlanta, they're not going to get past Atlanta.
Well, you think they got a better chance of getting past the Bucks in the 3-6 game?
Oh no. But I mean, as much as I'm a Knicks fan, they're over once the season's over. They're not going to get by Atlanta because Atlanta was decimated by injuries earlier in the season. With all of their big free agent signings being hurt.
Wouldn't you rather play Atlanta? I mean, tell me what I'm missing here.
Oh, no, I would rather play Atlanta, but the problem is no matter who the Knicks play, if that team has a good low-post physical player, Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson can only do so much. I mean, what did Drummond have last night? 18 and 16?
I don't have it in front of me, but I'll find it for you if you want.
They have a problem with big low-post players.
Yeah.
And their three-point shot has to be on for them to win as well.
Well, it sounds like good job, good effort. Thanks for getting the playoffs, but don't come back is what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying is I'm being realistic.
I'm
glad the Knicks are making the playoffs, but now the season begins.
JJ, you agree, right? If they finish at the 5 spot, them and the Hawks a good series and a winnable series for them?
It is.
No, I think so too.
For the Knicks?
Yeah.
No, it's winnable, but you know, they got some snipers on Atlanta that the Knicks may not be able to cover. Randall can't be all over the court.
Understood.
Bullock's going to have to be there. Derrick Rose is stepping up great right now. He's Derrick, like they said last night, 2.0. So we'll just see. I mean, but last night was a great game to watch.
Okay.
So
all right.
now I'm just happy I can unwind and watch the schedule today and see how I'm going to spend my weekends.
There you go. Now you can start planning out November, the third weekend in November, where you're going to be. See?
Yeah, now I can go see my, 4 Charger games this year and a couple of Jet games, and,
That's right. See? Now you're living. All right, man. No, it's good.
Right.
It's good. It's good to hear. Thanks. And we can all start planning our fall weekends. I don't. Tell me what I'm missing on the Knicks. Why they can't beat the Hawks? Why does he feel that way?
The Knicks can absolutely beat the Hawks. Knicks have the best defensive efficiency of any Eastern Conference playoff team. They might not have the same firepower when you look at Trae Young, Bogdanovich, the main 2 scorers there. The Hawks put together a nice rotation, but those guys, much like New York, haven't been there either. So it's Bogdanovich, Trae Young, and it's going to be their first run at figuring out what a playoff series is all about. And the one thing the Knicks can do is be physical, and they do play hard defensively. They bought into Tom Thibodeau, and that is something I didn't think was going to work at all.
Right?
And it has. And because you're looking at the most improved player this season in Julius Randle, who's a triple-double threat night in and night out.
Yep.
And the thing with Derrick Rose is he learned how to play with the skills he has now. He was an unbelievable player when he came in, MVP, attacking the basket, spectacular plays, and his body let him down. He played through injuries. Well, now he's a more efficient shooter. He's picking his time to attack the basket. And so you have those veteran guys with R.J. Barrett, that's young, and a lot of role players. So, yeah, the Hawks are more flashy, but that is easily a 6 or 7 game series in round one.
So I remember when Tom Thibodeau got that job. I don't think we spent a lot of time on it. I thought it was a good hire. You did not. You thought maybe there was no way that this guy was going to be able to go in and maybe it's past him. I thought he did a really nice job with was it with the Bulls?
Well,
right?
the Bulls and just with Minnesota, it ended so poorly.
Right, but before Minnesota didn't work, and I think that's probably why you were skewed to it will not work. Like it's passed him by. He will not resonate with these guys. Basketball people love him. I remember talking to Gar Forman, the former general manager of the Bulls. I spent some time with him. Was it the last time we were in Vegas? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. And he really liked Thibodeau as far as a basketball mind. He kind of sold me on him a little bit. And so I thought it would work. And obviously it has. Whatever. I mean, he could be coach of the year too now. You could be looking at Phoenix, the Knicks. Where else would you go? I mean, how about what Doc's done with the Sixers?
Yep, they're 2 games ahead of Brooklyn for the top spot in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean they're the number one. Yesterday we said Quinn Snyder with Utah. Nobody's talking about that. There's a lot of guys who've done a hell of a job. I think Michael Malone keeping that thing together after Jamal Murray's injury.
Yeah,
has done a pretty good job. I look at what's being done. With the Clippers the quietest team going into the playoffs. The playoffs will start next week. The quietest good team, to me, is the Clippers. Because everybody, including me, just kind of goes, yeah, whatever. They're going to find a way to lose. Because they're the Clippers. They're good. They got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And but they're the damn Clippers, and so they will lose before the conference final.
That is correct.
And there's a really good chance they could get the Lakers in the first round. Do you think the Lakers are catching Dallas? Dallas has the tiebreaker on them, right? I believe that's right. Dallas is a game in front of them. Dallas remaining will play New Orleans tonight at home, play Toronto on Friday at home, and end the season in Minnesota.
That's advantage Dallas.
Absolutely. Right? The Lakers, with their 3 games left after winning last night against the Knicks, I'm trying to bounce around and find that for you really quickly. But I think the Lakers have a tougher schedule, although not incredibly tougher. Lakers will close with Houston and then go to Indiana and go to New Orleans.
It's very manageable for both those teams.
So if they both win out, then the Lakers finish in the play-in tournament in the 7th spot because Dallas right now has the one game lead on them. And if the Lakers surpass
and 7,
Dallas, it's Lakers Clippers in the first round.
Yeah, and so 7, that's assuming they win their first game because they could fall down to 8.
Yeah,
they lose that 7-8 game and have to play the 9-10 winner, and then they would be the 8th seed.
Yeah.
So
does it matter 7 or 8?
I think it does. I would rather
play Phoenix
in the first round than either the Jazz or Clippers if I'm the Lakers.
Just because they're inexperienced? Because I mean, Chris Paul's been there.
Paul's having a fantastic season. Yeah. Devin Booker has risen to the occasion.
I think he's terrific.
But I will take my chances against Bridges and Ayton, those guys, over a first-round matchup with the Jazz.
I think that's probably right, just because of experience. I think the Jazz are deeper. And look, the Clippers, I mean, have they been there? Kawhi's won. They're still the damn Clippers, right? They're still the Clippers.
That hasn't changed yet.
No, look. This is, and maybe I'm proven wrong. At 1 year, they're going to get there, right? Maybe. Or is there a curse on this team? Is it the curse of Donald Sterling? They left Buffalo and then they left San Diego and they went to L.A. and they've never been to the conference final. They were Who's the worst franchise in sports right now?
Worst franchise in sports right now.
It's been the Browns for the last 2 decades. Is that fair? Decade and a half?
They've been in the conversation, yes.
All right. Who else? I mean, the Clippers were the joke franchise in sports for, I don't know, JJ, 3 decades? 2 decades? Until the last 8 to 10 years. This was the most inept franchise in sports. And I get it that they're not anymore, but they've never been to a conference final. They've had really good teams, right? The team, the Blake Griffin teams, those were really good teams.
When their best team last year blew a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still, I mean, to me, it's like they're still the damn Clippers. And until they figure it out, I guess that's why it's so quiet, and that's why it's so nobody's, I mean, I shouldn't say nobody, but I look at it and it feels dismissive. And it probably should be, because one year they're going to get through it. Go to the phones when we get back, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Springtime, warm weather, wind. Summertime's coming. Gentlemen, more than anything, it's time to feel like you again. If you are feeling sluggish, maybe you're regularly tired, carrying a few extra pounds, or dealing with erectile dysfunction, New Male will help you feel like you again. Most of you know by now that as you age, things like fatigue, low T, even ED are natural. There's a good chance you will be affected. If you call New Male at 505-652-1688 or visit Newmale, NUMALE.com, you can battle nature and take care of it. New Male leads the way in men's health, helping men feel better and battle nature. They've got testosterone replacement, which is cutting edge. The process is easy. It's comfortable. But the best part about this whole thing is the results are proven, and they are absolutely real. Call New Male, make an appointment. The number is 505-652-1688. I get it. Sometimes the toughest part is the first part, making that call. Don't put it off. It's time. Fellas, time to feel like you again. New Male will help you. 505-652-1688 or visit newmale.com and feel like you again.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8.
R.I.P. Colt Brennan, former Hawaii record-setting quarterback, died in Newport Beach, 37 years old. Family said he was checking into rehab, dealing with some demons, coming back, and then somehow, according to the family, he ingested something laced with fentanyl. Died 37 years old. He was a good quarterback. Wouldn't you say great college quarterback? Great college quarterback.
He was a great college quarterback. When's the last time someone from Hawaii was a Heisman Trophy finalist?
Probably then.
Colt Brennan.
Yeah, I'm assuming it would be then. Yeah, he was a great one. 37 years old. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Chad, thank you for holding. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Chad.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I was just listening to your NBA talk, the playoffs. First of all, great game last night. Knicks versus the Lakers. I was really hoping the Knicks would pull it off, but somehow the Lakers seem to do it. They still have that kind of that clutch gene. When they need to get things to happen, it seems to fall in their favor. On that note, I think they are going to get into the playoffs without having to do the play-in games, not via the Dallas Mavericks, more so probably the Portland Trailblazers falling down, because they have a pretty tough end of the year. They got I believe they're playing the Jazz, the Suns, and the Nuggets their last 3 games. So I'm assuming those teams are playing in full strength. That's a tough end of the season for Portland, and they're only a game up too. So that's where I could see the Lakers foregoing the play-in games and sneaking in.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
I think, and I think that's real. JJ, I'm certain the Blazers have the, if it's a two-way tie, the Blazers do have the tiebreaker on the Lakers, which means Lakers would have to win all 3, and the Blazers would have to lose 2 of 3, which is possible. I think what's Denver playing for in the last game of the year? So they got Utah tonight on the road. And then we talked about this yesterday. It's back-to-back on the road, Utah, Phoenix, the 2 top teams in the West. If they lose both of those and the Lakers win out, then the Lakers jump Portland, and Portland goes into that play-in tournament. Yeah. I think it's possible, Chad.
Yeah, and just kind of going off your guys' point before, I really like how quiet the Clippers have been. I think they like it that way. But they are, you can't count them out with all that talent. And Tyronn Lue, he's been there before, so maybe when it counts, we don't know. Everybody's kind of waiting to see how are they going to react in the playoffs when it really counts. That's what we're all waiting to see. But with Tyronn Lue, that might be a difference maker there. And they did get a couple of free agents too, with Rajon Rondo in there, some experience, obviously championship experience. So that should be interesting too, how that plays out.
That's good, Chad. Appreciate the call, man. Enjoy the day. Don't be a stranger. Chad, call us at 505-246-0610. So a couple things on that. I look at that roster. I think the addition of playoff Rondo is legit. We watched it just less than 12 months ago, right? Tyronn Lue is their coach. He's won a championship. Now, he won with LeBron. Is Kawhi LeBron? He's not, but Kawhi's won 2 championships. So I think you got a leader. Well, Jeff, did you see Kawhi last year? No, I did. I did watch him and disappear in that last game. I've also watched him lead teams to 2 championships. I think the roster's deeper. I think what they did to add, I think there's a lot to prove for those people on that roster. And it just kind of feels to me like, as quiet as they are, Lakers, Utah, Phoenix, like the teams in front of them, there's nothing dominant in the West. It's super, and the best team has the most question marks, and that's in the Lakers.
Yes, the Western Conference, you can go down multiple teams. Right now, to me, in the East, there's 3 teams I look at, and I can't take my attention away
That's
from
Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn in whatever order you want.
But in the West, Yeah, you start with the Lakers because when they're healthy, I believe they should still be the favorites. Jazz are good enough. The Clippers are good enough. If Devin Booker gets hot along with Chris Paul, they're going to win a series. Dame Lillard can win a series by himself, and you start running it down. But the true contenders still gravitate towards LA. And the thing with the Clippers, somehow, some way, getting Rajon Rondo is crazy to me because he should be on the Hawks. So I don't know what happened there because that's who signed him in the offseason, and it felt like that was going to be a perfect match for him backing up Trae Young in their run in the postseason. But there he is. And it's all down to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Because you look at outside of that, then it's a Rondo, it's a Reggie Jackson, it's a Luke Kennard. It's just putting the pieces together, what you need night in and night out. And can Paul George do it consistently on the biggest stage? Because Kawhi, we believe he can bounce back. Not sure about Paul George.
Yeah, I guess I'm not worried about Kawhi, right? I think that guy do you earn a down series? Do you earn a down game? I guess when you're a superstar, we've had this conversation, and I believe him to be that. Maybe you don't. You don't get that. Okay, it's on him. But he's earned the credit because he's won 2 championships with 2 different franchises and been the leader been the alpha on that. So I'm not worried about Kawhi in the postseason. Like to me, I'm still confident there. I'm not in Paul George, and in postseason, Paul George has not been impressive. Now, does Rondo make up for that? It doesn't. To Chad's point, they probably love it that it's that quiet. Is the leadership? Doc Rivers won once in Boston. Tyronn Lue won once with Cleveland. Do you see an advantage, disadvantage? Because I'm not sure I do. It is the difference in head coach. Doc Rivers is gone, and he's in Philly now.
No, I don't. I think last year was on the players. Looking at
absolutely it was.
Doc was telling you, like, this team is just not right. They're not coming together. They're not as locked in as they need to be, and that's the way it played out.
And what you're saying is coming out of the stoppage, the COVID stoppage, when everybody went into the bubble, that was one of the teams who voted to not play.
Yeah.
Now, who on that team voted to not play? I don't know if it was everybody, if it was some of them, but the majority of that roster voted to not go to the bubble. They didn't want to be there, whether it was for social issues, whether it was for COVID issues, whatever it was. And to your point, he was saying during that run, while they were in the bubble, they didn't want to be there. He didn't say they didn't want to be. He said we couldn't get it. It didn't feel right, and it didn't look right. Now this feels like a different year. I mean, you can make an argument if the Lakers aren't healthy that this is the best team.
Yeah. See, you look at what happened the final 3 games that were bad for the Clippers.
Horrible.
But up until that point, quote unquote, playoff P and Kawhi Leonard had them 1 win away from the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, that's right. I bet they still have not gotten to a conference final. There's something about franchises. And there's part of me that believes in this stuff. I know it's stupid. It's voodoo. It's hocus pocus. I believed in the curse of the Bambino for a long time and the Billy Goat curse of the Cubs because that crap lasted for 100 years, right? I mean, when something lasts a century and you got as many good teams as the Red Sox and the Cubs did, and they don't get to a World Series for 100 years or don't win one, I start believing in that mess. Now, I don't know what the curse is on the Clippers. I don't know if it's V. Stiviano or Donald Sterling or what the curse is. When was the last time you thought of V. Stiviano? But the curse of whatever it is, the Buffalo Braves and Bob McAdoo and Ernie DiGregorio and or the San Diego Clippers that they used to be. But there's until they get over that hump, man, I can't buy into it. I just can't.
That's fine.
They're in my mind. They're my dad's Clippers. They're the Clippers that I grew up with my whole life, and they have been the worst franchise in the history of my life. In pro sports, the consistently worst franchise, and I get it, the last 8 years they've been pretty good. And Steve Ballmer bought the team and it's completely turned around. I just got to see something. And then I was that way with the Cubs and the Red Sox. And I told you when the Cubs and the Red Sox won, it was the worst thing that ever happened to those fans because now they had no identity. It was the worst thing that happened to those fans basically because they were the lovable losers and they won. And now what? Now we expect to win all the time? Took away their identity. Until the Clippers win something, Jay, and it's fine.
I will say the Clippers don't have an identity.
They have none.
So
none. So the identity in my mind is they're still the worst. Yeah. Well, I don't even know they have any fans. It's just people who can't get tickets to Laker games go to Clipper games. I think that's what it is. Don't you think that franchise would be better going to Orange County or San Diego or Albuquerque? All right.
El Pinto Palace.
El Pinto Palace. How about by the way, the Oakland A's are moving. What do you think of the Albuquerque A's? A's are like on the block.
I think it could work.
Albuquerque Athletics. Albuquerque Athletics. Athletics power. I don't know. Think about it.
You could be onto something.
Think about it.
Trying to figure out when and where to work out can be overwhelming and ultimately just leads you to not working out at all. You got a lot going on. Your days are stressful. There's a lot to get in. And then, oh, by the way, you're like, where am I going to get this workout? How long is it going to take me? But F45 Functional Fitness changes all that by giving you high-intensity training in a 45-minute class. Take control of your fitness now and check out F45 Functional Training. You can go to F45training.com or download the F45 app. The app has the schedule of classes for the week, which class you'll be doing on said day. And with classes available 7 days a week, you're going to be able to find a time that works for you. Keep your mind and body moving forward with the new challenge every day. F45 Training has certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify if needed. The atmosphere is great, and with no wasted time in that 45-minute session, your full focus is going to be on getting the best out of the workout that you can in that time frame. The gym is located at 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's good access to Paseo, I-25 from wherever you're coming from in town. You can do it, and F45 is here for your fitness with high-intensity, fast, fun, results-driven workouts. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app. Check out the Northeast Heights location. You can also sign up for your 7-day free trial on the app and get into the gym. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Staples Connect helps your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing material.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Passing angles are hard, yeah. Another reason. What a scoop shot by Lamar Rogers. That's going to be on someone's top 10, believe me.
Luna almost strips it away. Perea is there, and the feed to Rogers, the finish underneath. Stripped Luna with it in transition. King with the big block off the board.
Kaplan puts it on the deck, goes through contact, great pass inside to Rogers. Rogers scores easy. 8 points.
And a steal. And a steal.
Corner
Perea.
three for Perea's up. It's good.
Oh, he got it.
Perea has 4 threes for 16 points in the first half.
Good ball movement. Watson gets it in right-handed and makes it.
Jaded
ideas.
Oh,
going,
great
so-
pass to Rogers. Reverse
Oh,
layup is up and good. Another
Ooh.
highlight move by Lamar Rogers.
He's just a guard right now. He's not a...
Between the legs, loses arm, fires a straightaway three. It's good. John Johnson has it going from all ends of the floor. Look at the Sandia bench.
With kids, it's just. Oh, here comes
up pass. Let's see if King tries to.
Oh, yes,
and he
he
does.
did.
Puts it down on the one-hand jam. What an outlet pass from Master Taplin. They get it into Barella. 10 seconds left. Barella double team. Someone's got to be open to Valencia with 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left, 3 seconds left. Valencia spin cycle, puts it up for the win, scores, it's over. El Dorado wins 39-37. What a job, or what a shot by Haley Valencia. Took the ball in the right wing with 3 seconds left, drove to the basket, and El Dorado wins 39-37. Haley Valencia will be our Jackson Compaction Player of the Game. We'll be back for an interview with Haley Valencia after these messages. You're watching ProView Networks.
Here's Savic, 10 seconds left. All by herself is Jersey Jones. Jones loses control. Jones kicks it out. Love, Ottman for the game. Ottman at the buzzer. La Cueva wins 64-61, avenging their only loss of the season.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a
Not really sure how we got into the construction of baseballs yesterday. I think it was Bobcat who got that. He's all proud of himself. Yeah, damn right I did. Dave sent me an email at the end of the show yesterday because we were talking about it yesterday, the difference. I just said, JJ, I don't need my baseballs changing every year. In a game does the basketball change every year? Does the football? I mean, like golf balls do, Jeff. Okay, yeah, technology does, and you're trying to regulate that. Dave says, I don't know why pitchers can't choose their own baseballs and keep them in their own bag of balls, the way quarterbacks can choose their own footballs and golfers their own golf balls. He LOL'd it. I guess football players, quarterbacks, somewhat customize their footballs with the pressure within the parameters of what they're allowed to inflate, deflate the football, right? Hence Deflategate, and you may have heard of Tom Brady and that whole situation. I just make my baseball's consistent. Like you and I probably can't tell the difference. If I picked up a ball from 1986 and 2020, right? They're baseballs, right?
Yeah.
But the construction of it, if that's your craft, you're certainly going to know the difference. Gene is not happy that Isotopes dropped 5 out of 6. Jeff, Albuquerque's AAA franchise, lost an emotional finale last night on a controversial call by the refs. Now they got to turn around and play the Skeeters at their gym 6 more times in 2 weeks. Things could get testy early in that series, especially if the visitors drop a couple more right away. This is why I hate 6-game series and playing one club 30 times in a 120-game slate. PCL needs to reconsider the schedule. One thing I could promise you, they're not redoing the schedule this year. Maybe we'll get this email regularly, and it sounds like we will, right? Warren Schaefer, the manager of your AAA team, addressed it yesterday, and he actually doesn't dislike it yet, does he? He likes a little less travel.
It works for this season because there's still a lot of question marks. There's still players at major league level that are going on quarantine. You're still going to have those issues, and thus you want to limit the potential for your AAA teams to have to deal with that because you're going to need them ready to fill those spots in the big leagues.
Yeah. Yes. Sid says, I liked what I heard on this award-winning OD yesterday, Mr. Siembieda, from the Duke's new coach. That's Warren Schaefer, ISOP's manager. He says, I think he has now appeared on this program as much in 2 weeks as the last guy did in 5 woeful seasons. Maybe next Tuesday you could ask him what he intends to do to reach out to those former fans that the administration has let fall off the bandwagon and the former regime never seemed to care about. It's from Sid. You want to couch that question to Warren Schaefer. Hey, the last guy didn't seem to care about the fans. Do you? I mean, honestly, how should we couch that question? It's on you, by the way.
It is. So are you a baseball fan? Well, I am. Well, there's a baseball team that plays at a baseball stadium. There you go.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to approach that one.
Would you like them to win? Sure. But it's kind of out of their hands. Blame it on the Rockies.
Yeah, blame, and they're not that good. NFL schedule comes out today. Cowboys and Buccaneers will open the season. Omar says Dallas Cowboys. Jeff, it took me a year to finally get Micah trained. Does Bobcat know he needs to mix in the Dallas Cowboys theme song every once in a while? If there is any doubt who's the most complete franchise in the National Football League, it was just answered. When we are good, fans want to watch. When we are bad, haters want to watch to pile on Coach Jones even more. Either way, television sets are tuned in to the Dallas Cowboys. That's from Omar. And then he sent me the link to the Dallas Cowboys theme song, which I won't forward to you because there's no need to play it yet. It's called Dallas Cowboys Pride, by the way. I can send it to you. I said at the top of the show, JJ, it validates whether you hate the Cowboys, whether you like the Cowboys. Them being in that opening game, the National Football League's kickoff game, in which the defending Super Bowl champions typically host. And it's very often a rematch of a playoff game, it's almost never, I can't say never anymore, almost never a team that didn't make the playoffs. It's always a big front-line matchup. It'll be the Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys. Jeff, why are the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, they were 7-9. They're mediocre as hell. Yes.
It's their brand, and it's not surprising anymore. And if you don't understand it, well, then you're never going to get it. And I love that game. You kidding me? Dak Prescott right out the gate against that defense? I'll take that. With the way we talked about Dak Prescott last season, even coming off the injury. You look at the Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott, and then to see if a defense is going to be any good or not early against Tom Brady, heck yes, I'm all in for that.
Oh, that's right. And that's why that's your opener. And that'll tell you what Vegas will tell you. I got to believe when all the predictions come out, there's nowhere else to go in the NFC East, is there, as far as who's the favorite in that division? There's nowhere else to go, is there? Can't be Washington
with Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean,
Washington won it defensively last year, and they have the best unit. They're going to be a tough football team, but this has to come down to Dak Prescott.
That's right.
And the Dallas Cowboys.
It's not going to be the Eagles because they're horrible. It's not going to be Washington with Tyler Heineke and Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback. It is not going to be the Giants. Now, the Giants are the one that intrigues me.
They're the wild card.
Right? Because this is make or break year for Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley's coming back again from injury. And I think their defense is decent. So to me, the Giants are the wild card. But there's nowhere else to go when you're looking at the NFC East and saying who's your favorite in the NFC East. I mean, in every division, they might be the biggest odds favorite, except for maybe the NFC West with Kansas City. And I would even say it might be a wider spread there because I think the Chargers, well, I don't know. Kansas City probably bigger spread. But every other division, Baltimore, Cleveland is going to be tighter.
The biggest one will be Tampa Bay.
You think so?
Yes.
It's New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Carolina, and who's the fourth team in that? And the Falcons? Yeah, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. It will be Tampa Bay. God, those are bad teams. How do all the bad teams get in one division? Falcons, because the Saints
finally decided to leave.
The Saints could be the biggest drop-off team in the NFL next year, right? I mean, unless Jameis figures it out, they're still talented. They got a lot of weapons. I mean, Kamara's terrific. They still got a lot of receivers. Their defense was a lot better, but that could be the biggest fall-off. All right, 9 o'clock this morning, we'll talk to Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. Talk about the state basketball tournament that was terrific last weekend and all of last week. Get to the phones when we come back, 505-246-0610 if you want to get to us. Emails, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimaladq.com.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Pro
Come to
Sports and
Facebook.
all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is The Opening Drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Buck.
So are they going to be the Las Vegas Athletics? I mean, let's start putting it together. The Albuquerque A's would be perfect, right? Yeah, I mean, Albuquerque, play it. All right, stop. I know it's not. I got it. I get it. But it'd be something, wouldn't it? Oakland A's are free agents. Evidently, they're in the transfer portal. Where are they going? Hot rumors are Vegas. Vegas has turned into within 10 years. Went from a UNLV town to UNLV's irrelevant, and they could get they could get the A's, and Oakland would.
We know what's going to happen here. This is what teams like to do. They hold cities hostage.
You think they're going to get this stadium in Oakland?
For hundreds of millions of dollars because pro sports teams don't catch enough breaks. In this world, they need more tax breaks from the city, and this is exactly what they're doing. Listen to Jeff Pass on ESPN last night. He pointed out that in these situations since 1970-something, 2 teams have moved. And we've seen this plenty of times.
So Montreal moved to D.C., and who was the other team that moved?
Can't think of the other one off the top of my head, but he just pointed out 2 teams have moved because we see this all the time. It is Major League Baseball, the A's, putting all the pressure back on the city, saying, well, we're going to look at relocation now, so you best give us what we want.
I'm looking since you said 1970-something?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of another team that moved, to be honest with you. I mean, the Marlins were expansion. The Mariners.
Was it
were expansion.
Braves?
Well, they moved ballparks, but the Braves have been in Atlanta since they moved from Milwaukee in the 50s or 60s. I'm looking down the list. I mean, his point is pretty valid. I think that's. I don't know the other one that's moved. Tampa Bay was an expansion team. The Marlins, the Diamondbacks, the Mariners were expansion teams. Texas, I think, was the last team to move, and I want to say that was in like 69. Weren't they the Senators that moved to Texas? I think that's right. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. The Seattle Pilots moved somewhere, became somebody else. But yeah, that was in the 60s. His point's good. I don't think Oakland's in a position to build them a stadium. Now, San Jose might. So if they stay in the Bay Area, do you consider that a move? They're not. The
Giants blocked that.
The Giants. How do the Giants get to block that?
I don't know, but that was what was said.
How do they get to block that? I mean, who are the Giants to block it? I just don't even understand.
Well, who are any of these franchises to be able to do what they do?
I'm reading. So the most logical landing spot, according to CBS, is San Jose. It says no one ever said relocation had to be leaving the state. The A's could slide an hour south to San Jose, a place they've been blocked from moving in the past by the Giants. I don't even get that. In this scenario, we have to pretend Major League Baseball will be motivated to convince the Giants to waiver their territorial rights. Territorial rights. If that sounds outlandish, well, that's what you get when a team threatens to relocate. The other places, Montreal wants a team back, and I know baseball wants to put a team in Montreal. I don't buy into the Portland thing. I just don't. Nashville interests me. Vegas seems really logical.
What's up with Oakland? Like, I feel bad for Oakland sports.
No doubt. They lost the Warriors. Yep.
Bounced.
Yep. Raiders
are in Vegas.
Yep.
You lose the A's.
Yep.
I could just see someone like in Oakland just like, I don't like sports anymore. What's the point of it?
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're an Oakland East Bay sports fan, well, you still got the Giants. You still got the Warriors are still there. Yeah, but they're not here. I got to go across the bay. I get it. All right, NFL schedule's out today. Later today, we know that it's going to be the Cowboys and the Buccaneers to open up the season. Best game of the first week, it looks like to me, is going to be the Chiefs and the Browns. Edward, good morning. I know you're talking NFL. Good day, sir.
Looks like a national holiday, my friends. Remember, for the draft, I said the draft's kind of like Halloween when to kick off the holiday season. That's when the Crusher puts up his Patriots tree, day after Halloween, November 1st. Or as the locals like to call it, All Saints Day or Dia de los Muertos. How you like that, how it rolls off the tongue? And then
it sounds better when Grace Stiletto says it.
I still owe you that full body shot, by the way, when we call in. I'm just messing with you guys, man. I want Grady to send one in first, and then I'll follow suit. Secondarily, the schedule release is kind of like Thanksgiving, right? And then they kick off the NFL seasons like the day after Thanksgiving, where everybody goes and shops. And then the playoffs and the regular season, the Super Bowl is the Christmas holiday season. So I'm thrilled.
All right, then.
Hey, speaking of teams that move, the Brooklyn Dolly, what is it, the Trolley Dodgers?
Well, yeah, but that was in the 50s, right? The Dodgers and Giants moved west, and you had a lot of teams moving back in that era. But to JJ's point on baseball, I mean, the last baseball team that moved was the Expos moved down to D.C. I guess I don't see anything since the 60s. You said Passan said there were two of them, JJ?
I think resulting from a situation like this, where like you give us this or we're leaving.
I
mean, everybody's got a new stadium. Like the Rockies were expansion, the Diamondbacks were expansion. Everybody got a new stadium.
Yep.
The oldest stadium, I mean, Dodger Stadium, Wrigley Field, and Fenway are the only stadiums remaining from the 60s and back.
Mm-hmm. You're right. This might be a bit before JJ's time and some of your listeners, but remember the Houston Astrodome and Montreal Expo, I think it was Olympic Stadium.
It was.
You basically had to hit a 500-foot home run just to get it out of the park.
Yeah, Olympic Stadium was cavernous and empty, by the way. That was,
there was never home runs hitting those two stadiums.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Hey, NFL schedule, as we reminisce from the past. We like to romanticize the past. I'm thrilled that the Cowboys are going to Tampa Bay to the Tampa Brady Gronkaneers and opening up. Did you know that the greatest player in the history of the league, Thomas Edward Brady, has 34 playoff victories? Let me give you a list of all-time playoff victories for the NFL teams. The Patriots have 37. The Cowboys have 35. The Steelers have 35. The Packers have 34, and the 49ers have 31. So Brady's already passed the 49ers, and he's tied with the Packers and Steelers all time. I would fully expect him to be number one. Brady to have more playoff victories than every franchise by the end of this year. That's so awesome. But they're back in their rightful place, Thomas Edward Brady, opening up on Thursday night. When they beat the Rams the second time in the Super Bowl, the goofy NFL gave us, the pathetic Bears and the Green Bay Packers. And I know why they did it, because those teams were staples when the league first started. But they had them open up on Thursday night instead of the Super Bowl champion have their rightful place. So everything's back in the norm and its rightful place in the NFL. And by the way, I think the Cowboys play the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day. That's going to be awesome. But I'm thoroughly thrilled for the release. I know it's kind of, some people think it's goofy, but what the heck, it's fun, and you can kind of plan out your fall schedule. And even Lenny said he'll catch his 4 Chargers games and a few Jag games. So I think the Jets and the Jags open up week 1. So the Jags should have their first win. Hey, by the way, early soft prediction for the NFL. I predict the Jacksonville Jaguars will play in the AFC title game within 3 years.
Yeah, no, you've heard you say that, and I don't know that that's outlandish, to be honest with you.
I think it'd be thrilling to watch. And by the way, the Jacksonville Jaguars have played in 3 AFC title games
since
the Cowboys have last played in an NFC title game.
Since the Cowboys have last played, and it's incredible. All right, man. No, thank you.
Hey, have a great day, guys.
I want you to wrap your mind around that thought for a moment. As bad a franchise as Jacksonville has been, he said they played in 3 AFC championship
games. They haven't been that bad of a franchise.
Well,
they've had bad teams.
They've had, obviously, if they played in championship games, I guess the franchise hasn't been. Attendance-wise, they're the franchise who always gets shipped to London because who cares if they miss a home game? They haven't been a model franchise, but they played in 3 championship games since the Cowboys have last appeared in a championship game. Omar, rebut that. I mean, what do you say? Yeah, but are they playing on the opening game? What are they worth? All right. But they now have Urban Meyer. And they may have Tim Tebow.
That's the difference, Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow ups the value of that franchise.
In the fate of the franchise. He's a winner. He's like That's Jesus. Right. He walks on water everywhere he goes, turning water into wine, winning. Apparently he was a great minor league baseball player, had that work out for him.
Terrific.
Tim Tebow.
That's
changing culture.
That's right. And that's what's going to get the Jaguars.
Third string tight end instead of, let's bring him in to give us some motivational Van Down by the River speech. It'll be a third string tight end.
Dude, wait till he catches 2 touchdowns in one game.
I'll be waiting.
That's right. And everybody's grabbing him on their fantasy football team, gobbling up Tim Tebow for a $2 free agent pickup because Noah Fant went down with another injury.
Tim Tebow is just 50 years too late for the NFL. He would be a Hall of Fame fullback.
Might have been. He might have been. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 888-922-0610. You got a Tim Tebow signed jersey? Maybe a Tom Brady helmet. Protect what's important. You don't want somebody coming in and taking that stuff. Or maybe it's something more important than that. It's your family. It's your business. Call International Protective Service. Protect what is important to you. I've trusted IPS to protect my home for years. They protect homes and businesses in the Albuquerque and Santa Fe area. Look, I get it. Nobody wants to pay for things like this. It's kind of like insurance, right? You don't want to pay for it. But you're smart. You have it. Think of IPS as an insurance policy against break-ins. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until something bad happens and then wish you had it. I called IPS years ago. Look, here's the deal. There's no contracts on this. So you can try out the service. I think you're going to like it. I have for years. You go out of town, IPS patrols your home, does exterior checks every day. They'll pick up the newspaper if you have one in the mail, roll your garbage cans out to the curb on garbage day and back. Give your home that lived-in look. And if your alarm goes off, IPS responds with trained armed security officers. Within 5 to 7 minutes, they catch the bad guys. Give yourself the peace of mind that you need and you deserve. Call International Protective Service and protect what's important to you. The phone number is 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Or visit them online. It's ipsglobal.com.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier. Bobcat, give you some smoked salt?
A satchel of salt.
Bobcat, thank you for the smoked salt. I just I sampled it. It was very nice.
Yes.
It's like salt with a
hickory flavor to
little hickory smoky flavor to it.
Yeah.
My salt satchel will definitely help me on my travels on the Oregon Trail.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
Yes,
What are you
it
going on the
will.
Oregon Trail? What the hell are you talking about? Appreciate the satchel of smoked salt.
You're welcome.
It was nice of them to welcome us back to the studio and say, yeah, by the way, I know you had everything you want where you were, but you can't use the
this last
facilities.
week?
You can't use the facilities, and you can't use and there's no coffee but come on back in.
Yeah. I've been dealing with it all year.
Really?
Yeah.
They turn the bathroom off, like the water off. You can't
Well,
use
no,
the restroom. What, you got to go down to the gas station down the street?
No, they've been doing the remodeling all year.
Yeah.
And there were times when the bathrooms were unavailable.
JJ's got an issue with this, man. He's
bet.
over here. He's at a critical state.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I can see you. I can't see him through the wall.
That's how that works. It's kind of weird how they positioned all this. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have made the window a bit
just
bigger.
Look at your monitor.
The window.
Maybe that'll be the next project. Maybe they'll make the window bigger.
I doubt it.
Especially not for the sports animal. If it was KKOB, you guys would get what you need. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Speaking of that, I got an email somewhere about you and KKOB and when you're going to be here, the big dog. I'll find it. Bobcat's rubbing off on JJ, according to Garcia. JJ questioning the tax breaks for pro sports clubs. That was big stick worthy political take. For a minute, I thought I had turned on the Ben DiNucci show over on News Radio. Oh.
I'm surprised the talk hasn't turned to Albuquerque should build a new stadium.
Let's start it. Albuquerque should build a new stadium and lure the A's. Expand on Isotopes Park and call it Athletics.
Build a fourth and fifth deck on Isotopes Park. Make it the most multi-purpose use stadium ever. You have AAA baseball, soccer, and Major League Baseball.
No, United have blocked them. United's blocked Major League Baseball from coming to town. If the Giants have blocked them from going to San Jose, can United block Major League Baseball from coming to town? We're not ready.
They might be able to.
Yeah, at this point they might. That's a really good point. Marty, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Marty. Good morning.
Hey, Jeff, I'm sorry. I got this for you this morning. So over the weekend, Paul Weir, ex-Lobo coach, was doing play-by-play for a high school tournament in the Pit.
Okay.
Do you read anything into that? Meaning, I don't know what, but
that he wanted to do radio and enjoys doing some commentary.
well,
Got the opportunity.
the first time I had heard him do that, and I was curious that he was still in town. That he was gonna. I know he likes basketball. But
No, this is his home. I mean, he's been in New Mexico for a long time. His wife is from Las Cruces. He didn't get another coaching job that took him somewhere else. I've heard different things about what Paul's going to do. That he's got opportunities at the university. He was teaching a class, if I'm not mistaken. I knew Paul was in town. I in fact talked to him, chatted with him text-wise a few weeks ago, and so no, I don't read anything into it other than the radio station gave him an opportunity to come on and talk basketball.
Monday, you guys were talking about endowments, contributions to the university, et cetera, et cetera. Do you know if Luke Longley or Tony Snell have ever made a big contribution to...
I do not know.
And this is for JJ. Is he there?
He's there, JJ. His eyes got
What NBA coaches do you see getting popped, fired?
to run down the list. I'll get that to you in a moment.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, Marty.
You bet.
See you. Jim said, do they include the California, LA, Anaheim Angels when they're moving? Did they move? They played Anaheim Stadium since the 70s, right? They've redone Anaheim Stadium, but they didn't move. They haven't they always played in Anaheim? I think they have. Maybe they played 1 year in LA, but I don't think that counts. Yeah, I don't think so. So how many coaches are on the hot seat going out? There's got to be a bunch, right? Luke Walton. Yeah.
Steve Clifford, Orlando could be in a tough spot because they're in a total.
Well, that's just such a bad team. I mean,
yeah, they're in a total rebuild, so they might just push everyone out. We see that happen.
All right.
Before.
I mean, everybody's going to make the playoffs. I feel bad for a first-year coach, Silas down in Houston. I feel bad for him there. I mean, that's a no-win situation. How long's Pop going to do this? At some point, he's going to say, "I'm done," right? And we got to be getting close to it in San Antonio, don't we?
You're right. It's what year will it be? This year, next year, 3 years from now? Does Pop say he's done? Because he has that say. San Antonio is not going to tell him to leave. He's going to tell the Spurs when.
Right. So I think,
and it might be one of those situations too. Pop has enough cachet within that organization. It will get to the point of he says, "This is who I want to coach."
And it's going to be Becky Hammond.
And I think that would be fantastic, and a great opportunity. And that could be when Pop says, "Okay, this is the move I'm making, and this is the next head coach."
I fully expect that, to be honest with you. Pop has been so outspoken on social issues. He was the first one to hire a woman assistant. Becky Hammond gets rave reviews. Now, I don't know if it's because she's really good or it is so dangerous politically to go out and say anything negative about her. Now, maybe there's nothing negative to say about her, right?
Well, the only thing is, can you coach? Do you understand the game?
I think that's
Absolutely.
right. And can you resonate with the players?
Telling a player what to do when it's straight basketball shouldn't be a problem.
I think that's right, but
we there's no problem the other way around. Like, guys are out there coaching girl sports,
but
that's like,
but there's dudes who can't communicate, right? There's guys who cannot get through to players. They may know the game, but they're not good coaches because whatever their communication style is. So, can she coach? Part of coaching is the communication style. It's not just do you know the game. It's can you get through the players. Everything I hear about her is yes. Right? Have you heard anything but just glowing reviews on her?
No, and I do not believe that she would be in this position or Greg Popovich would do it just for show.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that. And I do expect when Pop leaves. Now, I think it's a tough spot for her. While I think it's the only place that right now a woman's going to get the opportunity to be a head coach. The other place I could see would be Golden State, but I can't see Steve Kerr going anywhere anytime soon. I can see the control he's got in that organization, the cachet that he's got. He's made that organization relevant for 2.5 decades, right? Won championships. I could see him saying, cutting a deal with and basically staying around as a consultant, and I'll help her, but she's ready and it's time, and it's time for you guys to go make history and make Becky Hammond the first head coach / manager in American pro sports to be a woman. I just think it's a tough spot because she's following a guy who was one of the top 3 coaches in the history of the league. I mean, when you say Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, and he's right there, isn't he?
He is.
And to follow that guy and the success that they had.
It's tough now. It'd be
because they've come back to earth.
Just right after Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. They're a 33 and 35 basketball team right now.
Yeah, they're a 10 seed in the West, and they're going to get knocked out in the first game of the play-in tournament. That's fair, but you're still replacing that guy. Right, the person who replaces the guy is always struggles. So whether it was Bobby Knight or John Wooden or Phil Jackson or Red Auerbach, whoever comes in next, it's a tough spot. And so it could be pick your dude who goes in after Greg Popovich, and it's going to be tough. Now add the spotlight, the magnification that it's the first woman.
I don't think it would be that difficult because of her been there, done that with the organization. Like, yes, the attention is different. There's going to be moments she's going to have a blow up with the player. Because guess what? Coaches and players will scream at each other. But ultimately, her being a part of that organization for as long as she has, the front office, it won't be like, oh, we're bringing this new person and test it out, and it's a woman head coach. It's just more, oh, Becky's moving over. Now there's a lot more on her plate, yes, but.
And that's why it works there, right? That's why that's the place it works. Now, how often over the years have we talked about the difference moving over those 6 inches, moving over one chair, or 8 inches, or 12, one seat? And we've talked, ask Noodles, right? Brian Dutcher took a year. How different is that? But I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if it's this year. I don't know when Pop's done. But I fully expect, whenever it is, that there won't be a coaching search, that it'll be a dual announcement. Greg Popovich stepping down, Becky Hammonds taking over head coach of the San Antonio Spurs.
I'm right there. And it feels like that Pop would want that to be his last big impact on the NBA. Greg Popovich, the coach he is, just from everything we've consumed and the outside looking in, would not be doing this just for the heck of it. Like, he 100% believes in that decision if that's the way they go.
Yeah, and not just because she's a woman, but because it's that person who happens to be a woman. I just I will not be surprised if it's this offseason. Coming out of the COVID season, coming back to this season, they're absolutely a mediocre team. How long does he want to do this? How old is Pop, man? Pop's got to be nearing 70, doesn't he? He's got to be. I appreciate you doing that.
72.
Yeah, all right. So nearing 70. Hell, he probably wishes he was nearing 70. How long does he want? 72. Got a lot of money, won a lot of championships. He's made his mark. Tell me you're not going to be surprised if that happens in 2 weeks.
I won't be surprised because we're in that window of just waiting for it to happen with Pop.
Yeah. That's where I am. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in. It's Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Aaron's producing on the TV side. You can watch this show every single day on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. He's the masked man down in the left corner. That's Robert Catt on the bottom right. He produces us on the radio. That's where you're listening to us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Your restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
You're asking for hard, yeah.
Another. What a scoop shot by Lamar Rogers. That's going to be on someone's top 10, believe me.
Luna almost strips it away. Perea is there, and the feed to Rogers, the finish underneath. Stripped, Luna with it in transition. King with the big block off the board.
Kaplan puts it on the deck, goes through contact, great pass inside to Rogers. Rogers scores easy. 8 points.
And a steal.
Corner
Perea.
three for Perea's up. It's good.
Oh, he got it.
Perea has 4 threes for 16 points in the first half.
Good ball movement. Watson gets it in right-handed and makes it. Jaded ideas.
Oh, great pass to Rogers. Reverse layup is up and good. Another highlight move by Lamar Rogers.
He's just a guard right now. He's not a...
Between the legs, loses Parham, fires a straightaway three. It's good. John Johnson has it going from all ends of the floor. Look at the Sandia bench.
With kids, it's just... Oh, here comes
the pass. Let's see if King tries to
yes,
and he
did.
Puts it down on the one-hand jam. What an outlet pass from Master Taplin. They get it into Barella. 10 seconds left. Barella double team. Someone's got to be open to Valencia with 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left, 3 seconds left. Valencia spin cycle, puts it up for the win, scores, it's over. El Dorado wins 39-37. What a job, or what a shot by Haley Valencia. Took the ball on the right wing with 3 seconds left, drove to the basket, and El Dorado wins 39-37. Haley Valencia will be our Jackson Compaction Player of the Game. We'll be back for an interview with Haley Valencia after these messages. You're watching ProView Network.
Here's Savic, 10 seconds left. All by herself is Jersey Jones. Jones loses control. Jones kicks it out. Love, Ottman for the game. Ottman at the buzzer. La Cueva wins 64-61, avenging their only loss of the season.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6444.
Jets and Panthers week 1. NFL schedule is going drip, drip, drip.
Revenge.
Sam Darnold revenge game against Zach Wilson and the New York Football Jets. Drip. The whole schedule will come out later today. NFL to ring in the 2021 season on September 12, 11, 10, 9. On Thursday, September 9. So that would be 9/9. with the Cowboys and Buccaneers. I'm going to guess so the 12th, it'll be 9/12, and this is 20 years, right? The 20-year anniversary of, not anniversary, remembrance. It was 20 years ago, 9/11 attack, right? Was it 2001? So I'm going to guess there'll be a big remembrance around NFL opening weekend about the 9/11 attacks. But it'll be 20 years in one day, from after opening day. 20 years, Bob. I mean,
do you remember when you first heard the report where you were?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how you don't. Do you?
Yeah, I was driving north on Coors approaching Central.
And you heard on the radio?
Yeah,
on news radio.
First report.
And what did you hear? You were on Coors approaching Central.
Okay. Yeah, and I was listening to
of course
the morning show across the hall.
Of course you were.
Of course I was.
I mean, what else would you listen to? The Sports Animal? Come on.
Well, and first report. That's where I was.
So what, the first report was a plane has gone into the South Tower.
Yes.
And so.
And then what? 30 minutes later, the second plane hit.
Yeah. So I woke up to the radio and I was working for the Scorpions at the time, and I heard the report too. So flipped on the TV, right? And I remember sitting there watching. I was married at the time. We're watching it, and nobody knew if it was a plane that was out of control. Was it might be an attack, but it was like, wow, a plane hit, and then watching the second plane hit the other tower, and you're like, oh bleep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the moment as we watched it on live TV, the second plane hit the second tower. I think that's when we all realized we're under attack.
I kind of thought we were with the first plane.
Yeah, I kind of thought so, but you didn't know for sure.
Well, yeah, that thing, the towers were kind of big.
And out of the way.
And it was clear, there was no fog or anything when the Army plane hit the building. It just escaped me.
When was that?
1950-ish.
I don't remember that. But the all the confusion. I mean, I think a lot of us thought we're under attack. But to me,
Empire State Building. That's what it was.
The moment we watched the second plane hit the second tower, that's like, okay, we're under attack.
Yeah.
That was, there's no doubt now. And that's when it was nuts. And then everybody's got their stories from there. And you knew people, you had family. I had a buddy of mine, an old college buddy, send out a text the next day. He says, "Bastards missed me by 5 feet." His office was right across the street. Missed me by 5 feet. And it was, yeah. So that's 20 years, JJ, coming up in September. So basically 4 months away. But the NFL schedule's wrapped around that, and it'll come out today, and it's leaking out little by little by little. And so you like Jets and Panthers in that week one, huh?
I do.
All right, I'm down with that.
I think Sam Darnold is going to be fine this season. Plenty of weapons at his disposal. New look Jets with Zach Wilson at quarterback. I'm intrigued.
Week one is set. It looks like it. So week one is completely
week one is out. So all the NFL affiliates, Fox, NBC, ESPN, etc., CBS, were able to already release their week one games.
All right, you want your odds? I got your odds for you. Week one. You want them?
Of course.
I mean, if we're gonna play this game, I mean, I'll give you. All right, I'll take Tampa and lay the 6.5 at home against Dallas. Is that too much? You like Dallas?
I'd like the Buccaneers week one.
All right, I do too. Minnesota laying 2.5 on the road at. I can't believe we're talking football. At Cincinnati, Minnesota minus 2.5.
All of a sudden, Justin Jefferson throwing a little shade at Kirk Cousins yesterday, going goo-goo for Joe Burrow.
Right.
Bengals quarterback, but you ain't there, man. You got your other LSU dudes on the opposite side. I'm going Cincinnati Bengals winning week one.
I am too. Niners are 7-point favorites on the road at Detroit. I'm going to take Detroit, and I'll take the points. Niners win the game. I'll take Detroit and the points at home. I know Detroit's bad. I'll take Detroit.
I'll take the 49ers.
All right. I don't like the 49ers. Seattle at home, 2.5-point dogs. How can that be? Indianapolis. Oh, it's in Indy. Indianapolis, 2.5-point favorite over Seattle.
Carson Wentz going to have a strong week 1. I'll take the Colts.
I'll take Russell Wilson. Washington, 1.5-point favorite over the Chargers in week 1. It's in D.C. I'll take the Chargers. Give me the points.
Week 1 out the gate, you're going to get.
These are your games. Week 1.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, so give me the football team.
Ooh, all right. Tennessee minus 2.5 at home against the Arizona Football Cardinals. Tennessee and Arizona. I'll take Arizona in the points.
Take Derrick Henry.
All right. Buffalo 6.5-point favorite at home over Pittsburgh. I think we'll both like Buffalo.
I'll take the Steelers.
All right. Atlanta, 3.5-point favorite in the dog game of the week. Atlanta, 3.5-point favorite at home against Philadelphia.
Atlanta.
Yes.
Yes.
Jacksonville is a favorite. The team that won 1 game last year is a favorite, 1.5-point favorite on the road at Houston. That's got to be, they figure.
You can't have that game on the board yet, can you?
Because you don't know who Houston's quarterback's going to be. It's on the board now. Right now, you're saying. I mean, if you think. If you think
Watson going to be available or not, right?
If you think he's going to be available, you bet that game now. You take Houston and get points.
Yes.
All right, we got to take a break. I'll get to the rest of the schedule when we get back. He's clicking in my ear. I hear him.
Because it's that time.
Give me the rest of the schedule when we get back.
Place your bets May 12th for NFL Week 1. What you can do as well is take control of your fitness. And what if I told you all you need is in one place? We're talking strength work, cardio work, full body functional fitness, and it will only cost you 45 minutes. F45 Training is that gym that brings it all together with high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. Look at the schedule of classes at the Northeast Heights location. You can also sign up for your free 7-day trial on the app. And with classes available 7 days a week, you're going to find one that works for you. I got a class scheduled today, and I'm excited. F45 has helped me with that motivation needed to get that spark back, to focus on my fitness, and look forward to the workouts. And at F45, they're certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify, and it's a great gym experience. When you go in, the class is already set up. You say, all right, what are we doing today? Oh, it's Hollywood, it's Angry Bird, whatever it may be. It's set up. You're good to go. So you don't have to go in and waste a lot of time. You warm up and knock out your workout in just 45 minutes. Full body functional fitness, and you're going to feel great when you're done. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app today. The gym is located at 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's good access from wherever you're coming from in the city. So don't wait any longer. Create your own gym identity right now at F45. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the
We're running down the Week 1 schedule in the National Football League. The whole schedule is going to be released today, later today. You got odds out early. Early odds in your Week 1 game. You don't even know who the hell people are anymore. You don't know who's going to be quarterback war, but we've gone through a bunch of them. Carolina -5 at home against the Jets. Sam Darnold against. I'll take Sam Darnold to have a big day in his first game. I'll lay 5. I'll take Carolina and give you the Jets.
I'm right there with you on the Panthers.
Look at that. New England with, I guess, Cam Newton. -2.5 at home. They're favorites against Miami. Give me Miami.
I like that game right out the gate. AFC East battle. Tua time. No Ryan Fitzpatrick come in and close out the games. and we'll see what a traditional offseason does for both these quarterbacks. I'll go New England Patriots at home.
You taking New England?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go the other way.
That field goal.
All right, if you believe that the Denver football Broncos are going to get Aaron Rodgers, then place this bet now. Broncos are 1.5-point favorites at the Giants. If they get Aaron Rodgers, that number goes to 6.5, right?
It jumps, yes.
So if you believe that your Broncos are going to get Aaron Rodgers, then jump on it now and lay 1.5 points. Right now, as is, I would take the Giants.
I agree.
This is the best game of the week. Kansas City at home, -5.5 against the Cleveland Browns. It's a wide spread for a game that's that good. I might be inclined to take Kansas City, but that, for me, of every game on this list, that's the best watch of the weekend.
I agree. I think you look at what Cleveland did last season, all the hype, all in with Baker Mayfield. Can he continue to be that consistent threat for a franchise that's done a really good job at building everything around their quarterback? And you look at what that game was like, the division game last year for the Cleveland Browns. Tough 5-point loss at Kansas City after just racing past Pittsburgh. I'm all in on that contest, but I do like Kansas City because guess what? They'll have an offensive line.
That's right.
And that's the difference for Patrick Mahomes.
Rams, Sunday night at home in SoFi, laying 7 against Andy Dalton and the Chicago Bears. Bears have a good. I'll take the Bears the points. I think Rams win. I'll take the Bears the points. That's a good defense.
That feels like 24-20. 27-24,
right?
So I'm there with you.
Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I think they win, but I think it's closer. And then Monday Night Football, it'll be in Vegas. Baltimore -5.5 against the Raiders. I'll take the Raiders in the points.
Oh, Ravens.
You got the Ravens easy, huh? All right. Fair enough. So there you go. That's week 1, dude. Week 1 schedule is out. Your bets are in. Ralph says...
Stone Cold.
He says, Jets and Panthers were on, if they were on every week, an only NFL game, they'd still be the highest rated TV show. NFL scheduling the Niners against Goff and the Lions. Coincidence on opening day? I said nothing the NFL does is a coincidence. Nothing. Sam Darnold against the Jets. Coincidence? Nothing is a coincidence. The 2 worst teams, Atlanta and Philly. Nothing is a coincidence. He says, why do the Rams and Vegas, or who do the Rams and Vegas Raiders have? Rams Sunday night against the Bears, Vegas Raiders Monday night at home against the Ravens. And then he concurred about that story about our buddy who was 5 feet away. He said, bastards missed me by 5 feet. Yeah. UNM and New Mexico State play on 9/11. Did you know that?
Do you know?
Football, 9/11, 20th anniversary. Is it anniversary? Is it commemorate? Anniversary is a festive occasion. What's the right word for 20-year? Anniversary just feels wrong. Is it remembrance? What's the right word?
Got me.
I mean, what's commemoration? Like 20-year? There's got to be a better word than anniversary, doesn't it? JJ and Tilly celebrated their 10th anniversary last night. That was a wonderful, joyous occasion. That's an anniversary. Anniversary is a celebration. This is, we just call it 20 years to the day. I mean, there's a word for it, a better one than I'm finding, and than the 3 of us are finding right now. 20-year commemoration, 20-year. There's a word. Are you with me? Does anniversary just feel wrong? No. All right. Your whole NFL schedule is going to come out. Coming up next, we're going to talk some high school hoops. You ready?
Absolutely.
With the very talkative Sebastian Noel.
What a week it was.
Yeah, I mean, he might be all talked out. He may not have any words left.
Yeah, that was a lot. And especially Sebastian being on the call of that Volcano Vista Hobbs game.
Went viral, went international, went everywhere. He is the star of ProView Network. Well, Aaron is the star of ProView Networks. I mean, Aaron's the one who's working harder than anybody now, right? He's coming in doing our show. He's there in the afternoon. I mean, Alden and J-Pole and Josh, they're too big for our show now. It's kind of like Micah. They've all graduated. Bobcat any day now. Okay, leaves our show behind. We're just a star maker here. We just launch people to great things, and
we're like the Albuquerque Duke.
How about commemoration?
I'll work with commemoration. Yeah, I think that's right. Sebastian Noel next. We'll talk about that high school tournament that was so entertaining last week. That's next on the opening drive on ProView Networks and 95.9 FM at AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Passing angles are hard, yeah. Another reason. What a scoop shot by Lamar Rogers. That's going to be on someone's top 10, believe me.
Luna almost strips it away. Perea is there, and the feed to Rogers, the finish underneath. Stripped, Luna with it in transition. King with the big block off the board.
Kaplan puts it on the deck, goes through contact, great pass inside to Rogers. Rogers scores easy. 8 points.
And a steal. And a steal.
Corner
Perea.
three for Perea's up. It's good.
Oh, he got it.
Perea has 4 threes for 16 points in the first half.
For 5 years running, this is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Buck.
Well, it was abbreviated, encapsulated. Is that right? It was 1 week, but it was amazing. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck, the state basketball tournament, 10 champions were crowned. And you watched it all on ProView Networks if you weren't able to get out there. Capped by I've said this, JJ, the best ending. I've been here 25 years. I've never seen a better ending to a state championship game than the Volcano Vista girls 5A championship over Hobbs, 52-49. Natalia Chavez with the shot from half court. And there were so many great moments, but I've not seen anything better. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. You got to call some games during the tournament, and I know you saw some great moments. I think you feel the same way on the Volcano Vista thing.
The Volcano Vista ending was unbelievable. Anytime you have a game-winning shot like that, it's awesome. But then add in, it's for a state championship in that venue, and it brought me right back to watching Jimmy V run around the court. That's what I got the feeling. It's like, oh no, who do I hug? Where's someone to hug? It was craziness.
True. Yeah, our next guest was in the building. He was on the call. Oh, what else? Sebastian Noel, the head play-by-play, the prime play-by-play announcer for ProView Networks, the big dog over there. He joins us on the opening drive. Good morning. How you living?
Oh, good. I'm just, coming down from that basketball high.
I said it was the best. I hate living in the moment. I've been here 25 years. I've watched a lot of state basketball. That's the best ending I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree. I was trying to think back at comparable moments, but there's not one that sticks out to me.
There have been great games. There have been really good endings. And actually, you can even tell me great endings. Somebody heaves one in from half court in overtime to win a championship. When you were in the building, like you were expecting over the next overtime, were you not?
Yeah, I think so. We Danny Brown and I, we did talk about the play, or a play that they could run to get a shot off, just because Danny and I had done a regular season game, boys game, with similar time on the clock where there was a game winner, but it wasn't from half court. So we did at least talk about a play that could help them get a shot off, but no, you never expect that.
You get a call like that, right? You never expect it. You never know when you're going to get a great call. Just being a broadcaster in a moment like that, it's pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of your mouth during an instance like that either. It's funny because we had just talked during the commercial, and I looked over at Danny and I said, hey, we both can't be screaming if something happens. And Danny said, oh, no problem. But when it happened, he let his emotion out. And so I just laid out while he was laying out his emotion.
Yeah, he certainly did let out his emotion. He did scream. When the analyst goes, it becomes a fan, and you got to say, hey, dude, no cheering on press row. Right?
Well, if you listen to it closely, there's a little inside baseball for you guys. If you listen to it closely, the part where he says, my goodness, he kind of chuckles, and that's because he looked back at me, and I was giving him the stare like we just talked about this.
Yeah, we've been over this. He's Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks with us.
Sebastian, what was that game like overall? Hobbs and Volcano Vista going back and forth. As good as Hobbs is, I think it's the first time that at least a lot of people in town got a chance to see them. And then, of course, for Volcano Vista, that team lost to them in the playoffs last year, but a chance in the title game. Just what was it like from start to finish?
Hobbs started well. They were using their size, but they really went away from that. And, the takeaway I had is, Hobbs will be remembered for a couple of big losses in title games versus their great success recently. Because remember, they blew a huge lead to West Mesa a few years ago to give the Mustangs their first state title. And they kind of went away from everything that was working in this game as well. Don't take anything away from Volcano. That's a great team. But, I'm going to remember this Hobbs group for the two losses more than their success.
Yeah, and this Volcano team is so impressive that their leading players are juniors, and Natalia Chavez, if you see her, you definitely see right away how she already has the Division I offers that she does. Her ability on the perimeter, just constantly being a force in that team. What do you think her game can be like next season?
Well, she's going to be fun to watch. And the thing with her, like Coach was saying yesterday, you guys had a great interview with Lisa, by the way, but like Coach was saying, she never stops working, so it's the Monday after the state championship, and there she is at her 5 a.m. workouts. So she's never going to stop putting the work in, so the sky's the limit.
Sebastian, I think what was lost in this shot is how good that game was. Hobbs has come back, and you and JJ were just talking about it. Everybody's going to remember that shot. Great games always have great endings, but that wasn't just about a great ending. And Hobbs has come back in that. That was one of those where I think it had all the elements, and that's why I said, best game, by far best ending, but as good a game as there's been.
I would agree. I mean, the two undefeated teams, the matchup that everyone wanted, kind of like, we on the boys' side, we wanted that matchup. Same thing on the girls' side. And, I would agree. It had all those elements. It was a close game throughout. It was well played for the most part.
It was terrific. All right, let's hit the boys 5A and go to the top. People I think wanted to see Cleveland and Las Cruces. Cruces came in. We're just lucky to be here. I heard Coach Benjamin say before the game, well, we're just going to go up there and hopefully we can keep it close, right? And just playing the role of the disrespected. Ultimately, Cleveland gets their first championship in school history. That's what we all wanted to see.
Yeah, and Coach Benjamin, he plays that role so well. But
sure.
There's no doubt he had his guys ready to go. He was expecting to come in here and take home a trophy. Coach Benjamin is a master of that kind of stuff, but, don't think that he didn't have supreme confidence in his team. I think it was just a Cleveland team that was better on that night, obviously, but it was a Cleveland team that was deeper. It was a Cleveland team that defended well, and in the end, they stopped Deuce Benjamin, and that was the difference.
Yeah, that was the game plan. That was what it came down to. Looking at this, the best player on the floor is probably Deuce Benjamin, but you have Division I athletes on the other side in Cleveland. We've talked about their defense all season long, and it made a ton of sense. Double Deuce, make someone else beat you, and ultimately at the end, that's what kind of paid off for Cleveland.
Yeah, no doubt. Their defense was huge all season for them. That's kind of what Coach Jimenez wanted to focus on this year. I was a little surprised at the game plan for Cruces coming out. I'd seen a few Cruces games this year, and they were doing a lot of ISO stuff with Deuce. They weren't running as much flex as they used to in the past. And then they ran a lot of their flex offense in that title game, which brings their talented big guys away from the basket. Cleveland did a great job defensively.
How good is Deuce? And it was such a way too vague of a question, but I think for the people who haven't seen him, you see numbers, you see a couple of highlights. Is he in New Mexico State's offered, and it feels like such a perfect fit down there. They've had really good local players, whether it was Johnny McCants or Gordo Castillo, that have contributed and have been local guys that have really drawn in the community. Is that the right fit for him as New Mexico State, you think?
Oh, I think he'll go bigger than that.
You do?
I think the Aggies would be lucky to have him at the end of his career, but I think he's a next level player for sure. But I don't know if he's going to go to there. His jump shot's improved every year. His body's improved every year. He puts the work in. He's got long arms. He can defend. He can get to the basket. I would say the next two, if I had to guess, the next two really big guys, D1, to come out of here, it'll be Deuce. And then there's an 8th grader in Las Lunas by the name of Jalen Holland. He's going to be a real special one to watch, too.
An 8th grader. A few more minutes. Sebastian Noel is with us from ProView Networks.
And Sebastian, of course, don't want to take away from Cleveland, but I'm interested in, Cruces is what they're going to bring back, especially Carr inside. What's it like watching him? And then you kind of mentioned it, when he was forced away from the basket, just in the game plan, how did that ultimately affect what Cruces was doing versus what ended up happening?
Oh, he's a smooth operator, JJ. That's for sure. When they couldn't get him the ball, that's when the tide really started to turn. He's legit. He's got a quick second hop, gets right back up there on the boards. When they were able to just double team Deuce, and they were not able to get it inside, that really turned the game. And they're going to return that team. But the problem is, 2 guys, right? 2 guys, 3 if you count Self, but they really didn't get him the ball. So those other guys are going to have to really put in the work, develop. Because if you return that same team, yeah, sure, Isaiah will be a little better, Deuce will be a little better, but you're going to run into some of the same problems. If no one else on the floor can confidently make a shot, especially an open shot, then they become essentially pretty easy to defend.
I want to talk about the 4A boys. Del Norte, it stuns me that with all the players that have gone through Del Norte, that's the first championship in school history, and all the Del Norte alum have been coming out, and rightfully so. I watched them, and maybe this isn't a fair comment, but I'll say it anyway. They look like a 5A team when I watch them. Often you can watch different classifications, say, okay, yeah, I know that's a nice 2A team, and they're really good. They look like a 5A team to me, and I thought they would compete at that level if they were there. But that's a nice team and a huge victory for that community.
Yeah, and I am a proud alum, so I did come out of the woodworks early for that.
As you should.
Yeah, that backcourt, with Shane Domo-Sanchez and Judah Casals, they're as good as any backcourt in the city, regardless of the class. Then they had some size, right, inside. They graduate that size. So they'll be really guard-oriented next year. But Coach McIntosh has just done such a great job there. I think he gets the kids to buy in defensively, and then he gives them a little freedom offensively. And I think that's how you have to connect to kids nowadays. I mean, you can see the kids love playing for him.
Yeah, and when you look at overall, and the top seeds pretty much held form. The good teams did what they had to do, but there were a few games that jumped out, whether it's 4A girls, Gallup, Espanola Valley, Gallup 4 seed winning that state title, or even kind of 3A. How about Hot Springs coming in, beating Sandia Prep? When you kind of look overall, what were some other things that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, if Sandia Prep, that's really the only, there was 3 metro area teams looking for their first ever state title, and Sandia Prep's the only one that didn't win one. They're going to be hard-pressed to have this good of a team to make another run because they lose Sam Henderson, best player in that classification. But you can't take away from Hot Springs. Those guards that Hot Springs has, and they have the experience. They've been there before. But Sandia Prep, they're going to look back at this one and say this was probably their best chance. They had such a huge size advantage at every position. It seemed like they really stopped going to that late in the game in the second half. So, Sandia Prep kind of let one slip away.
And those are chances you just never get back, especially if it's your senior year. All right, man. So now what? ProView's going on to baseball. What can people watch for on ProView Networks? Is basketball's behind us. A terrific job by you guys. And I said this earlier, and I was telling Aaron, the fact that not only did you do all these games and all these sites, but until, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, parents couldn't get into a gym to watch their kids. And it was one thing if you were had a player playing varsity, you could watch on ProView. But what ProView did to go do the JV games, the C team games, the fact that you guys were in the gym, you got there a few hours earlier, and were able to put those games up for parents and family to see their kids play, because they love their kids as much as the varsity parents do. And I just thought, congratulations on what you guys did. It was a tremendous early season for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great team over there, Jeff. I know you've gotten to meet most of them, so you know how talented those guys are, especially the behind-the-scenes guys. Us talking heads, we're one thing, but those guys that you've been able to meet behind the scenes, man, they really make the magic happen.
Yeah, no, I'm really impressed. All right, on to baseball, and we'll catch up with you next week. But congratulations on a great run at the state tournament. I know it was fun, and always appreciate catching up with you on Wednesdays.
Thanks, guys.
See you. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. We've been, I love this partnership with them. And there's a lot of talent over there. There's a lot of talent over there.
No doubt about it.
All right, 505-246-0610. That's how you find us today. 888-922-0610. We'll continue if you want to get in on the NFL schedule release. The emails are coming in. Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Good ball movement. Watson gets it in right-handed and makes it.
Jaded ideas.
Oh, great pass to Rogers. Reverse layup is up and good. Another highlight move by Lamar Rogers.
He's just a guard right now. He's not a...
Between the legs, loses Parham, fires a straightaway three. It's good. John Johnson has it going from all ends of the floor. Look at the Sandia bench.
With kids, it's just... Oh, here comes
the pass. Let's see if King tries to...
Oh,
and
yes,
he
he
does.
did.
Puts it down on the one-hand jam. What an outlet pass from Master Taplin. Get it into Barella. 10 seconds left. Barella double team. Someone's got to be open to Valencia with 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 3 seconds left. Valencia spin cycle, puts it up for the win, scores, it's over. El Dorado wins 39-37. What a job, or what a shot by Haley Valencia. Took the ball on the right wing with 3 seconds left, drove to the basket, and El Dorado wins 39-37. Haley Valencia will be our Jackson Compaction Player of the Game. We'll be back for an interview with Haley Valencia after these messages. You're watching ProView Networks.
Here's Savic, 10 seconds left. All by herself is Jersey Jones. Jones loses control. Jones kicks it out. Love, Ottman for the game. Ottman at the buzzer. La Cueva wins 64-61, avenging their only loss of the season.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McClain and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching.
All right, thanks to Sebastian Noel. Recap of the state basketball tournament. Big day here. Big lacrosse match today over at Sandia Prep. Birthday at my house today.
Yep.
15 years old is that child today.
Crazy.
Isn't that nuts? Big birthday at our place. So I don't know. Well, the birthday dinner, it's probably going to be a team dinner afterwards. They're all going out and having a team birthday dinner. So I got to bring cupcakes. I bring the mini cupcakes. She's like, yeah, but then we bring me an extra shirt because they're going to throw the cupcakes at me. That's their little celebration. They throw cupcakes at the birthday kid instead of eat them. I don't.
Bring the mini ones to throw, the big ones to eat.
I'm not bringing both, man. I'm bringing the mini ones.
You get one.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell you want me to do?
Throw it.
Like, eat it or throw it. Your choice. You want to eat and take a bite? I mean, whatever. It's going to be after a game. But, yeah, birthday, dude. 15 years old. It's kind of nuts. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. 888-922-0610. Your emails. Jeff at sportsanimalaBQ.com, JJ at sportsanimalaBQ.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's _JJ Bucket. On the Facebook, the OD and the AM, and you can even watch the show there. NFL schedule coming out today. It's a holiday for some. It's a sideshow for others. However it is. What is it for you? Is it a big deal for you? I mean, we just went through the whole first week. It is kind of cool.
It's a deal because the NFL is the straw that stirs the sports drink. And especially with all that goes into it, when you're looking at over-unders, how's the schedule play out, when's the bye week come in? And in fact, it is a 17-game schedule, so we're looking at an 18-week NFL season. I am intrigued to see how this lays out and what the path will look like for the teams that we expect to be good this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a thing, and I'm into it. All right, this is an interesting story. It just came down about a half hour ago. So a 5-star recruit, big college basketball player. His name is Patrick Baldwin Jr., being recruited by Duke and Georgetown. And I mean, pick all your big dogs. He's ranked 4th nationally in the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings. Probably would have put Duke as the number 1 class, right? So where's he going? Milwaukee, not the Milwaukee Bucks. University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee was his dad's school. Is that a win for all the little guys, or is it just a win for them?
It's just a win for them.
I think that's right. It's really interesting. His dad is the coach of Milwaukee. His dad is 47-70 there. They've not yet recorded a winning season since his dad became the head coach. He's been there since 2017. Since 2011, they've only had 4 seasons above 500. It's a game changer, right? I mean, that vaults him to maybe win that league and get to the NCAA. And if he's this good, maybe he's a one and done anyway, right? So he's kind of helping his dad out. I agree with you. It's a win for them. It's not a win for all the little guys.
I love this story.
I love it too.
Because it is a kid who has a chance. You just mentioned it. There's a Duke offer, Georgetown, Virginia. Like, he could go play at a power conference school, but he has a great relationship with his dad, and he's looking at a team going, you know, I want to help my dad, and I want to try to do something crazy and win the conference, go to the NCAA tournament. You know, a potential one-and-done player, if you're the 4th overall player in the class. You have some pretty good aspirations, and I think it's fantastic for Milwaukee. And kind of reading into it, like, his dad didn't over-recruit him.
Right.
Like, this is available if you want to come, but go do your thing, check it out, see what their experience is like. And ultimately decided to stay with the dad at Milwaukee. And it's one of those things, like, if you're that good of a player, it's not going to hurt you, because he's going to be the focal point of that team. He's going to get his, and then if they win, it's only going to make his story and then his narrative going in the draft that much better.
Look, if he's planning on being one and done anyway, then go play for your dad. Jim just sent me a note. He was supposed to go to Northwestern, where his dad was an assistant at Northwestern, and obviously that didn't happen. And so I agree with you. You go and do this and do the family affair thing and make Milwaukee, must-see TV for a minute, right? They'll be on television. That'll be next year's team. What's going on in Milwaukee? Like it used to be University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Now it's just Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Like Little Rock used to be UALR.
Little Rock.
Yeah, UALR. Now they're Little Rock. Nevada used to be Nevada Reno. Now it's all everything's simplified and streamlined. I'm with you on my love for this story. I'm with you on my love for that story, and good for him. And you know, is now how do you NCAA with all the guidelines on recruiting? How do you police the recruiting when you're recruiting your own kid? You're only allowed to send him so many text messages and so many phone calls and so many visits and you're having dinner with your kid. So where's the recruiting violation?
And it's why we do see at times so many assistants hired that happen to just have really good kids, and they might not necessarily be qualified for that position, but they're hired at a school to have that connection.
Look at USC right now, right? Yeah. The 2 best players on that team, their dad's an assistant coach. I mean, it goes back to when Kenny Thomas was at Albuquerque High for a year. This was before I was here, but his head coach was Ron Garcia. All of a sudden, Ron Garcia becomes one of Dave Bliss's assistant coaches at UNM. Kenny comes. Kenny played his 4 years, and as soon as his 4th year was up and Kenny left, Ron Garcia was not retained as an assistant coach at UNM. Right? No, you're absolutely right. But it's interesting because there is no way to monitor.
I'm sorry, son. You're going to have to move to a studio apartment throughout this process.
Yeah, during the recruiting process. And then you're not allowed to live with me because, well, that would be extra benefits. I'm not allowed to give recruit a student athlete a place to live. I can't buy you. I can buy you a bagel, but I cannot buy you the cream cheese. Buy your own damn cream cheese, kid.
Well, I think a lot of that is quickly changing.
Quickly? I would say changing. I don't know if I think it's quickly.
No, do you see what UNM just announced?
No.
What's coming? The partnership to work with student athletes, name, image, and
Oh,
likeness.
yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Adjusting to the times.
All right. As time goes, things have been exposed, and will get better. All right, when we come back, Shohei Ohtani made a little history last night. He is he's a little leaguer in a big league uniform, right? I mean, he's what little league. He's my whole point on why can't pitchers hit. He's the guy. He's the best athlete on your team, and he pitches sometimes and plays right field. And why the hell can't everybody else?
Because there's only one of those.
Why?
Because not every pitcher's a good athlete.
When they're kids, they're everywhere. When they're kids, everybody's got one of those. But no, he can't do it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, J.J. Buck. Oh, wait, can't go yet. Bob's on the other side of the room. All right, you ready to go to break? All right. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Shohei Ohtani. Astros beat the Angels last night. 5-1 if you care. Lance McCullers Jr. allowed one run in 8 innings for the Astros. The story, though, it's Ohtani. Another two-way effort from their right-handed hitter, designated hitter, outfielder. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ. So Ohtani was a starting pitcher. He was also in the lineup as a hitter. He was. When was the last time you heard this in Major League Baseball? Now you're starting lineups and batting second. The pitcher, Shohei Ohtani. Huh? On the mound, he was good. It was 7 innings. He gave up 1 run and 4 hits, struck out 10. And then he went and played right field, JJ. Then it's like a damn Little League game. No, they can't do that. They can't hit. They're not athletes.
Well, because you're not giving Shohei Ohtani enough credit.
I'm giving him a ton of credit.
Well, he's special.
He is special.
And what he's doing, it ain't easy. Because, again, Mookie Betts ain't coming in to start a game. You can be a good athlete, but to have both, it's unbelievable. And it's rare. Because more people could do it, they'd do it to be in the major leagues.
So when I don't know. I guess I don't separate like you do pitcher from every other specialty position. Somehow pitching is
professional baseball does, so it's on them.
Okay. I understand professional baseball does. I don't. Pitcher is number 1. First base is number 3. Third base is number 5. They all hit. Anyway, I don't want to get into this conversation. This is more about Ohtani. He is amazing. 88 pitches, 62 strikes. And then he went and played right field. Like, to your point, he is special. And he's really good at everything he does. Like, I wasn't sure he was going to be a good pitcher. He's really good at what he does.
And I think that's what stands out about it is just how awesome he is. Because if it really was, if you hit and pitch, you're going to get to Major League Baseball, then more people will be doing it. But it ain't that easy.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable what he does.
Yeah, you can be a pitcher, and guys make it to the big leagues on defense as catchers. You're making it to the big leagues as a pitcher. I get it that they're not hitters first. I just don't understand why they can't be hitters at all. Here's one. 5 pitching starts by Ohtani this season. He struck out 40 in 5 starts, allowed just 11 hits. He's the first pitcher in the modern era. This is by stats by stats. First pitcher in the modern era to strike out 40 plus and allow fewer than a dozen hits over the first 5 starts of a season. I mean, take all your really good pitchers. He's special.
He is. And it's one we can have our next conversation with Warren Schaefer about it, but it's for some reason in Major League Baseball, they've just decided that pitchers don't need to hit. And if they do, they don't need to focus on it. I don't know when that really became a thing, but it is. Because you look at all these minor league teams now, most of the games ultimately end up playing with the DH. So your pitcher's not focusing on that. It seems like if it's something you do, you want to be competent at it. Because so many of these guys look so terrible when they're swinging a bat. So I understand it from that standpoint, but I just look at it, when it's professional baseball overall, you get in there and you're either a really good position player or pitcher, and you're not both.
Howard, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Howard.
Good morning, guys. I know you're talking about pitching and all. I'm going to shift back over to the NFL. Excitement's already in the air based on the fact they're letting these little sprinkles of opening day games, come on out. And, I'm looking forward to the Dallas-Tampa game. That's going to be a good one. And, I'm hoping maybe somehow or another on the anniversary of 9/11, the 20th, somehow this country can unify a little bit and remember when we fought a common battle when it was us against them, and maybe some way or another we can, scrape up some unification and try to become a unified country again. I know it's not likely, but we can always hope, right?
You can hope, yeah.
We can hope. But anyway, I'm looking forward. I'm going to probably have to circle the 10th on my calendar and put in for some PTO with the boss, I can take that day off. I'm going to be celebrating Tampa Bay and Dallas on the Thursday the 9th, And maybe I'll even bet him a week's pay, guys. What do you think?
A week's pay. I think that's good.
Although it's not much. I am working for Edwards, so it's not much.
You get what is spread there? 5.5?
I haven't had a raise in a while, guys.
Well, that's the way he is. He spends it all on him.
Better chance of seeing Bigfoot than getting a raise. But anyway,
he's spending it on
how old is Tom Brady, JJ?
42.
42. Do you think he remembers the Alan Parsons projects, Jeff? You know them.
Yeah. He's 43. Does Tom Brady? I don't know. I don't know if he ever knew who they were.
Well, if not, he's going to get introduced to the Micah Parsons project on Thursday, September 9th, guys.
Check you out. Ooh, see what he did
Have a
there?
great day.
Later. That's what Howard did. That's an opening day game, Thursday night. Cowboys and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. See, now you got something to look forward to. And it's 4 months from today. No, 4 months from 3 days ago. 4 months from today is the first Sunday. 4 months, that's it. It scares me, honestly, because football season comes so quickly. That means college football's coming in. I got some work to do in the bowl world. A lot of work to do. All right, if you want to get in, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's where he got in. Bourne's in on Ice Hopes last night. He says, did I hear Sushan say an error made by Albuquerque's baseball team on them trying to convert the guy from infield to outfield? What level is this? Don't they do that at rookie ball or A ball? No, guys are moving all the time. Right?
Yes.
Are
you talking about Ryan Vilade?
Yeah.
Who?
What are their top prospects?
Is drafted out of high school in 2017. Played some high A ball. Lost an entire year last year. So when else was he supposed to do it?
I don't know. Bourne wants him to go back to A ball. Not do it here and cost his team a victory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he bet the Ice Hopes last night?
He might have. Yeah. Game 6 in the streak. Try to take some momentum into that next series.
Yeah, he might have done that. All right, we've not gotten into the horse racing stuff. So Bob Baffert yesterday suddenly recalled putting the ointment on. It was dermatitis on the horse. He had some skin issue, and he somehow all of a sudden recalled putting this ointment on with the steroid. And now, oh yeah, like Bob Baffert's played this so poorly, and he might even be telling the truth for all I know. But it is the worst look since A-Rod trying to tell me he didn't take steroids, isn't it?
It's up there. Is it telling me I'm going to believe the guy that's had multiple other horses popped throughout this time in a sport that unfortunately sees this happen a lot with marquee horses? No. And he was lost from the beginning, knew he did something wrong, trying to blame it on everyone else, and then came back and said, oh, it was just the clear. It was just the cream.
Yesterday, I was informed that one of the substances in the ointment, Otomax, is betamethasone. While we do not know definitively that this was the source of the alleged 21 picograms found in Medina Spirit's post-race blood sample, and our investigation is continuing, I have been told by equine pharmacology experts that this could explain the test results. As such, I want to be forthright, thank you, about this fact as soon as I learned of this information. As I've stated, my investigation is continuing, and we do not know for sure if this ointment was the cause of the test results or if the test results are even accurate, as they have yet to be confirmed by the split sample. However, again, I have been told that a finding of a small amount, such as 21 picograms, could be consistent with the application of this type of ointment. I intend to continue to investigate, and I'll continue to be transparent. This is Bob Baffert. So is he now still the greatest trainer of all time, or is he not? Because after he won the other day, Bob Baffert stands alone.
Not so fast, my friend.
Is he not the greatest trainer of all time? He's got 3 horses in the Preakness this weekend. They're all going to be under increased scrutiny, says the Racing Commission, whatever increased scrutiny happens to mean. Is he not the greatest of all time? He's won more derbies than anybody, right?
And he's somehow, some way staying in the rules for the most part.
So this has split the public on horse racing again, hasn't it? This is back to this is mistreatment. I heard Gaba on news radio yesterday or 2 days ago trying to talk with TJ. Well, I mean, don't you think it's just cruel and unusual for the horses, and this is an antiquated sport, and they should put the sport away? And I know there's a lot of that, right? There's a lot of talk about how horse racing has run its course, so to speak, and it should be put out to pasture because of all the things we had. Was it at Santa Anita? I was at Santa Anita a couple of years ago. All the horses that were testing positive. To me, I disagree. But are you on that? Do you think this is now cruel and unusual? What they've been doing?
I take a step back. I'm not a horse racing aficionado. I don't follow it. It doesn't interest me. But I do hear things like they don't have this problem in Europe because they run without all the stuff that they put on these horses, injecting the horses. So I'm like, is it the racing not good in Europe then, or what's? Are they overworking the horses in America, and that's why they have to do this? It's like the bloody sock situation. Like, so that's, or then I would ask, like, so what's working over there that y'all aren't doing over here?
Yeah. Yes. What's working? I mean, there's a lot of things you can. What were you gonna say?
Well, I just have a question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that medical records would be kept extensively on horses at that level?
Supposedly they are.
Well, then why wouldn't he have known about? Why couldn't he have pointed? Here's the medical record. Where did it come from? You know.
Yeah, and people are calling for they want his medical records, this horse's medical records released.
But they should have been immediately.
I imagine that's right.
Because then the ointment would have shown up right away.
I don't know what the privacy records are for horses and your medical records and
HIPAA violation.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, and I don't know what's required. I just don't know the intricacies, the in and out, and what's required. But you would think, Bob Baffert, if I've never done this. I mean, we've never given this horse anything, and people, if it wasn't there, people would say, well, you left that out anyway, right? I mean, then there would be that claim. It was a small amount, but it was there. Of a steroid, which, by the way, I'm told is legal, just not legal to be in the horse's system on race day. It has to have passed. So you're allowed to use this particular steroid or whatever it is, but not. It must have passed through the horse by the time they test on race day. Yeah, it's. There's a lot to it. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
You're active. For hard, yeah. Another reason. What a scoop shot by Lamar Rogers. That's going to be on someone's top 10, believe me.
Luna almost strips it away. Perea is there, and the feed to Rogers, the finish underneath. Stripped, Luna with it in transition. King with the big block off the board.
Kaplan puts it on the deck, goes through contact, great pass inside to Rogers. Rogers scores easy. 8 points.
And a steal. And a steal.
Corner
Perea.
three for Perea's up. It's good.
Oh, he got it.
Perea has 4 threes for 16 points in the first half.
Good ball movement. Watson gets it in right-handed and makes it.
Jaded ideas. Oh, great pass to Rogers. Reverse layup is something good. Another highlight move by Lamar Rogers.
He's just a guard right now. He's not a...
Between the legs, loses Parham, fires a straightaway three. It's good. John Johnson has
Tomorrow
it going.
they'll be in El Paso, 6:45. Josh Sushan will crack the microphone from West Texas. Topes are 1-5 after a rough series with the Skeeters out of Sugarland. Now back onto the road and see what they can do against the Chihuahuas. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. 2 lines open for you, 246-0610. Terry, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. JJ, thank you for staying awake during my call a couple days ago. Jeff, sorry I made you doze off. I'll try to do better today. Sugarland, you lose, takes 5 out of 6 from the Topes. I was thinking some country western duo bought themselves a minor league team, but whether Jennifer Nettles is the owner or closer.
Yeah,
but for the people still being upset, I'm like, there's baseball. You know, just think last year there was nothing. You're talking about the baseballs in the dirt and immediately throwing them out. I guess it saves a little time. You know, even a few years ago, the ball would go in the dirt and the batter would point down.
Right.
And, you know, and if the ball got back to the pitcher too quick, you had to toss the ball back in and the umpire would check it out. You know, is it good enough to go? And I guess they just eliminate the middleman and toss them out. The irony of that is no new baseballs are put in the game. They're all rubbed down before the game because the last thing a pitcher wants is a nice, shiny new ball. They have that magic goo or whatever. They rub the balls down so they can be gripped. And from that. And it's amazing now, you know, if we were in Vegas today, there'd be people standing in line betting on some of these football games.
Promise.
I mean, yeah, you know, it brings the new, you know, gambling. You know, the odds are unfortunately not all starting quarterbacks that we think will be starting today are going to be there on opening day. Unfortunately, somebody usually gets hurt in the preseason, which is sad. But
you're betting futures right now, right? I mean, if you got a hunch that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Broncos, and go lay your 1.5 because it's going to 6.5 by the second that happens. So, yeah, you're betting futures.
Yeah, exactly. It's like futures in corn or oil or whatever.
No doubt.
You're taking a shot at what's gonna happen that way. But you mentioned cupcakes. Oh, I remember the good old days when I could make cupcakes for my kids that are now, 20s and 30s, where they didn't have to be store-bought. You could make your own cupcakes, take them to school, hand them out, let them, have them, enjoy them, and now everything has to be who's allergic to this or that. Don't want any kids getting sick, but those were the good old days when kids could make them up and enjoy the moment. A little rest in peace, Colt Brennan.
How about that?
It's kind of sad to see him passing away. He had the record until Burrow broke it recently, and 37. I guess drugs got the best of him. It's sad, a life taken too soon. But from that end, we'll still plug along. I still think you should bring up the DVD, from that of Cat Ballou. And Edward, never met him. He could be Michael Callan on the left, and Stephanie, before she was like, she could have been in the middle, and of course I'd be the one on the right. Being Lee Marvin, and that would cover everything. And again, it would just give everybody a chuckle that way. But
all right,
you guys have a good one. Take care.
Thanks.
Be safe.
All right, cupcakes today. I got to go find the menus. If I could get rid of that line, there we go. Yvonne said, congratulations, just made me feel 100 this morning. The announcement of your birthday talk. 15 years old the child is today. Yeah. How do you think that makes me feel? If she feels 100, I know, Yvonne. I got it. David, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, David.
Hello. A couple of things. Horse racing experts have said that picogram isn't a big amount, but more importantly, the muscle relaxant that it is wouldn't have made the horse run the way it did. It's analogous to a baseball player saying steroids don't make me hit the ball. They just put some strength behind it. But ultimately, the muscle relaxant is a false argument to say that Bafford's not that good, because every expert that's been interviewed since then that knows the steroids, that knows the muscle relaxant, said that it's not a performing enhancement. That's why it's a legal thing. It's just it's not supposed to relax the muscles during a race. So to suggest the presence is a problem is a false argument.
Well, it's a problem because it's a banned substance on race day. That's why, just because it's against the rules. I agree with everything you said. The problem is they test for it, and it was present, to your point, in very small measure in the horse. But that's why it's a problem, because for whatever reason it's got to pass through the horse legally.
And ironically, in the bicycle racing and every anti-doping, U.S. anti-doping thing, there's ultimately a second test. And I say cycling because talk about performance-enhancing drugs in the sport, that's where you're going to see it more full-blown than anything else. But more my reason for calling is, what's the problem with the Dodgers? Are the Dodgers truly in trouble? Because nobody can say that the big Dodgers are in trouble. And who do you think is going to be in the final two games, National League, American League, and baseball? Ultimately, do the Dodgers even make it?
Well, I'll let you take that one.
I think they do.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers get there. I mean, pitching wise, they're beat up. I look at that lineup. I think they're going to be fine. I think everybody goes through their slumps. They lost Dustin May. Clayton Kershaw got banged around a little bit. I just look at that lineup and I can't think they're going through a 5-month season and not going to be okay.
I say that because every fan says their pitching, their bullpen is a slump, but the commentators during the game say that their offense is bad, meaning they say on their roster 5 through 9, whoever that has been, has ultimately not produced offense.
It hasn't
in
produced.
which case, under games that they've won, they've produced high offense, and it's not the pitching, it's not the bullpen, it's their offense that hasn't produced enough wins to overcome even a 1-2 point margin.
No, Bauer lost 2-1 the other day, and I think the back end of their lineup's got to hit, and that's why I look at it. I think, when I look at it and I think they're going to be fine, that they're too good. Yeah, they're slumping, and what you said is correct. They're not producing. I just think they're too good to not produce for 5 months. So, I think they'll be there at the end. I think JJ does as well. David, appreciate the call, man. Thank you. I mean, don't you think that's where it is? I know you look at that lineup and think, how can they not be there?
Yeah, they still, with all that being said, they've still scored more runs than anyone else in the NL West. And that's the focus. Like, you don't have to, at this moment in time, compare the Dodgers to the Cardinals or the Mets or the Phillies. It's ultimately what can they do in that division. And I think the Giants are one of the best stories in baseball, but I don't believe in the Giants for 5 months. I believe in the Dodgers and then the Padres to be nipping at that wild card just due to the depth that they have. And ultimately, outside of Dustin May at this moment in time, you're expecting to get those guys back.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I feel. And I just look at it and say, okay, pitching-wise, they're going to be fine. Guys slump. And I'll tell you what, I think everybody will tell you I'd rather slump in April and May than August and September. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so I think that's where they are. They're gonna be okay. When you look at it, I mean, who's going to be in the final World Series? I don't know. But I would tell you it's a pretty good chance. Thank you to Sebastian Noel. He was with us talking about the state basketball tournament that concluded. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd's after that. Sports Bar Trulio and Carlisle with more local talk at 4 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Aaron, great work on the TV side. Bob, thanks again. Terrific work. It's good to see you masked up over there. So enjoy. Your kids got to figure out where you are. Where's Daddy?
At work.
Go home and explain to him how that works. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
The Jim Rome Show. You know, I know it rhymes with foam, but it's not.